Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today we have another video that I wasn't really planning. I have decided that I'm going to try to read every single Stephen King book in order. I saw somebody doing it on TikTok and I was like, that'd be interesting to do. And so I figured I'd try it. And so I started reading the first book, which his first novel published was Carrie. And then I got to thinking, I was like, wait a second, there are movies of almost all of these. So my plan is to watch all the movies related to them as well. So in my research for looking for the Carrie movie, I found out there were 3 of them, and I've seen all of them. And I decided to rewatch 2 of them for the channel. If you want me to review the middle one, the 2002 version, definitely leave a comment below saying you would like that, and I will get right on that. But today we're going to be talking about the 2013 one and the 1976 one in separate videos. This one is for 2013. The next video uploaded would be 1976 in the same day at the same time. So if you want to check out both of them, definitely do so. But today we're going to be talking about 2013's Carrie. Carrie was released in 2013. It was written by Lawrence D. Cohen and Roberto Aguirre Sacasa? I don't know, it's Italian. And we have directed by Kimberly Pierce. And I've seen this one. I watched this one kind of when it came out, which is a little bit too early for me. I was 12 when it came out. But I watched it when it came out regardless. And I remember liking it quite a bit. Mainly because it was my first big horror movie. And I wasn't into horror when I was a child, of course. But for the most part, I kind of avoided horror because I was a scaredy cat when I was a kid. And this movie was the first one that I watched that I was like, oh, I kind of get it. This is kind of cool. It's a cool idea. That being said, I am now, 8 years older? Something like that. And I realized that it's not the best thing ever made. This here is the book, in case you were curious. I did read it. Yeah, it doesn't have a front cover. It's a very old copy. I got it from my grandmother, and I finished reading it last week. And it took me about 5 days to read it. I'm a slow reader when it comes to books, just recently. I don't know why. But it's pretty good. I like the book a lot. I don't think it's my favorite book I've ever read, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good, particularly considering I do like Stephen King. I think it's an okay novel from him. I definitely don't think it's his best, but it's pretty darn good. And so I started watching this movie again right after, literally the day I finished the book. I was like, let's watch one of the movies. Get that out of the way. And so I watched the 2013 version. And one thing I do want to note is that the first writer, Lawrence D. Cohen, did write the 1976 one as well. So I do want to mention that because there's a lot of similarities and there's a couple differences. And the first big difference, of course, very obviously, is the casting decisions. And in this one, we have Chloe Grace Moretz as Carrie and Ansel Elgort as Tommy, which I'm going to talk about those two. I'm going to talk about 2 different characters, or 1 different character in the second video. But this one, I'm going to talk about just those 2, because I think they're the most important characters in this film, which I find extremely intriguing that in each movie, the characters' importance levels are different. Like in this one, Sue Snell, the good bad person, is more prominent than in the first film. In the first film, they hardly talk about her, but in this one, she's very much a forefront figure, which is good because in the book, she's very, very upfront. She's very one of the big characters. But in the first movie, they didn't talk about it, but in this one, they really did, and I appreciated that work. That being said, most of the acting was kind of spotty. I usually like Chloe Grace Moretz. I think she might be a little overrated. I don't think she's that great in this movie. I really don't. I think she was okay, but I don't like how Hollywood does this thing, and it's called beauty washing, which is when you take a character that is obviously supposed to be not exactly attractive. She's objectively attractive, right? And they put her in a film where the character's not supposed to be attractive. And I'm not saying that attractiveness is measurable at all. I'm not trying to say that out. I'm saying that on average, almost everyone's going to say that she's attractive. And they do that a lot with a lot of modern movies, like even in this one, and notably in Love, Simon, which my review for that's out on the channel if you want to check that out, where they casually beauty washed one of my favorite characters, and I was kind of pissed. And this one, it was kind of a minor detail in my opinion, but still it bothered me a little bit. And I don't think she was perfect for the part. I really don't. I don't think she was quite ready to take on a handling like that. She wasn't that fantastic. She was just kind of okay. And she wasn't scary. When she was, when obviously the incident happened, no spoilers, I guess, but I mean, it's Carrie, so you probably already know. When the incident happened, she's covered in blood and stuff. She was not scary, and which is definitely a problem when you're considering the balance between that and before. They're both not scary. And I find that really annoying because, like, Carrie is supposed to be very horrifying. So I didn't like that at all. And this is Ansel Elgort's first, like, big movie. So welcome to the cinema, Ansel Elgort. I love Ansel Elgort, like, with a passion. I think he's fantastic. And I think he's really good here, too. I think that maybe he was a little miscasted. I'm not sure if I would have chosen him for Tommy, but I did think that he did well. I think he did better than Moretz here. And I appreciated his work. But I don't know. The casting always seemed kind of spotty in this movie. Nobody seemed perfect for their roles. They just all kind of felt like they were trying to modernize it. Like, I get it, but, like, also, we didn't need another Carrie movie, like, at all. We just had one, like, 10 years ago. So I don't know. I mean, are we going to get another one in 2023? I hope not. I think that in terms of the storyline, it is farther away from the book than I'd like. I mean, it's hard to stray from the book. There's only 200 pages. So it's like, it's not a thick book. And they kind of strayed a little bit. For the most part, I mean, you can't really mess up Carrie. You can't make a Carrie movie and make it that far off from the book. It's impossible. Well, I say that, but I haven't seen the 2002 version in a long time. But I feel like it strayed a little bit more than it needed to make it its own thing. And that's cool, but also not what I'm looking for in a Stephen King adaptation. What I'm looking for is horror and scary and deep developed characters, and I really didn't get a whole lot of that in this film. I definitely didn't feel it from the writing or the directing, and that's another problem, is that the writer does feel very, very similar to the first Carrie, because it is the same writer, but a lot of the lines are exactly the same, which also brings me to the fact that a lot of the lines from here are not exactly the same. Like, somehow they managed to make the first Carrie a lot closer to the book, which is nice. But then they do this one, which is a copy of that movie, and it's not the same. So they, like, literally just rewrote the movie with slightly different language. And I was like, why would you do that? We don't need that. My final thoughts on the movie. It's fine. It's not scary, really. It's not that good. There's a couple things that I did like about it that changed from the book, like when they locked the mother into the closet. I like that idea. They didn't do that in the book or the movie, the first movie. So I appreciated that change in detail. I liked that quite a bit, actually. But beyond that, it kind of feels unoriginal and boring. I got nothing but laughs out of it, really, from me. So I'm going to go ahead and give Carrie 2013 a C+. If you haven't read the book, I highly recommend you do. It's fantastic. It's from the perspective of the future, so it's looking back on Carrie, largely through news articles and other books, which I thought was really, really interesting and definitely something that you should check out. I really like the book a lot. If you want a review on the book itself, like an actual video about it, let me know in the comments below and I'll make one for you. I definitely wouldn't hate talking about it. I do think it's quite a good novel, and it's a short read, so if you're looking for something short to read and you're interested in modern horror, this is definitely a good spot to start. And then also, if you want something newer that isn't by King, I would recommend Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. I think that book is fantastic. Definitely check that one out. And I am currently reading Salem's Lot, Stephen King's second novel. I'm a little more than halfway through. Very, very good so far. This is one of my favorite books that I've ever read. It's absolutely brilliant, and I really did enjoy it, so definitely check this one out as well. I will be watching the mini-series that came out. It's about 3 hours long total, and making a review on that, so if you're interested in watching that, make sure you're subscribing. And there is a new movie coming out, a new adaptation of Salem's Lot coming out within the next couple years, so I'll be watching that when that comes out as well. And a bunch of Stephen King stuff coming on along the way, so if you're interested in that, definitely hit that subscribe button. But thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.